Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Awakened. I'm your host, Alison.
And I'm Jayson. Hello.
And this is going to be episode 5. And in this episode, Jayson is actually going to explain how his experience living in a cottage, an awesome cottage, I might add, but the energetics behind this awesome land and house were very, very interesting. So why don't you just kick it off?
Yeah, well, it's some of it was for me and Alison was a little bit scary, but that's okay. We got through it. So pretty much I ended up at this place because I had a relationship breakdown before Alison, and I was pretty much homeless. I had to leave straight away. So I eventually was able to live with my grandmother in a retirement village for 6 months, and let's just say that was an interesting experience as well. And I was doing some healings, and somebody that I knew quite well, I just said, look, if you know of anybody that needs a tenant, or, I need a place to live, because I can't do the retirement village anymore. It's just too challenging. And then she said, yes, leave it with me. And then she said, I've got somebody that wants somebody to live in a cottage in the Mount Dandenong. So I was like, oh, wow, okay. She said, look, it's a separate dwelling, but it's on the same land. So it's the main house, the cottage I was at, which was actually the family made it by hand. And then they made another one by hand. Beautiful piece of land overlooking Melbourne. It was stunning. And I was like, I've struck gold here. This is just... And the lady there, she was just beautiful. Whole family just loved them to bits. Very, very beautiful, nice people. So I finally got to move in. It wasn't big. It was probably, I don't know, I put it two rooms maybe. I turned it into 2 rooms and then a kitchen and a little laundry and bathroom and a living area. But it was just a magical place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then when Alison saw it, she's like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is so beautiful. And
because the walls are not your everyday wall. The walls were made out of stone.
yeah, stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole place was made out of stone, handmade.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, slate floors.
It was definitely like a man cave.
Yeah, it had like hobbit windows.
It did, that's right.
And I had my own backyard, big backyard, and I had another seating area, and there was a pool below me and stuff like that. So it was really, I was just like, oh, this is going to be amazing. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I ended up being there for 4 years.
Yeah.
And during that 4 years, it was probably my biggest wake-up call for what goes on behind the scenes that I think I've ever experienced my whole life.
I don't think... we've experienced a lot, but living on that property, there was a lot going on.
Yeah. So Alison didn't live with me at the time.
No.
We were just sort of getting to know each other, and
Yeah.
we started just hooking up type thing. And because where did you live?
I lived in Bayswater, which is a whole different story.
Yeah, we've mentioned that in another podcast. So yeah, moved in, settled in, and everything was really good. And I was doing my trade work, and I was doing classes, spiritual psychic development classes, and I was doing really well, and had an assistant, and what else? Doing my healings, and things were doing pretty good. But then after a time frame, things started to fall apart. And I didn't really notice it, but things started my classes, all of a sudden, big hoo-has happened of that, and that closed down. Healing slowed right down. It was just like, oh, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, no work, no money. And this would have been a couple of years or 3 years. It would have been 3 years being there. And all this stuff just started playing out. We're like, because Alison pretty much lived with me, really, even though you didn't, but you were there every day.
Yeah, yeah.
Every night, pretty much.
Because it was an amazing place.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And so I started tuning in to find out what was going on. And then next thing I found out that I don't know how to express this, but there was we call them black monsters living at the front of the property. facing the dirt road.
Mm-hmm.
And we just thought there was just one at start, and it was like a black creature. This one was probably 7 foot tall, and didn't know that was the bubby of the other one, who was probably 10 foot tall. Next thing you know, we're energetically battling these monsters to a point where Alison got picked up and one of them's in the mouth of the big one as I'm trying to fight off the other one. I don't know why you took on the big one.
I have no idea either. I don't know.
You're just a Wonder Woman, aren't you?
I don't remember.
So this is playing out behind the scenes energetically through our third eyes.
Yeah.
So we had to fight these things off, which were... Because this property in this particular neighbourhood had a lot of colonial stuff playing out back in the start of Australia times.
Yeah.
So it had a lot of history and a lot of stuff playing out, like so much stuff playing out. And we didn't take notice at the time when we were living there. It's like, you just want to do our own thing. And the energetic stuff, it's like, just leave it alone. Anyway, so we're fighting these monsters off, black monsters. And then I had family from Spirit come and help as well. So there was like 5 of us, 6 of us fighting these bloody monsters in the front of the property. I believe that we did transmute them from memory, because this is going back quite a few years now. And I don't know how to express to you all how it just taxed me. Yeah. And I felt like they were sucking up the energy. I felt like this place was harvesting my energy and my finances. I know it's hard to understand, but it just the property, or the energy of the property, just really dwindled my resources energetically. So therefore, it played out physically through work, no work, no classes, nothing. Everything just dwindled. It's like it just changed.
Because we need to understand that there are energy harvesters out there, whether they're people or it's a hole in the ground. There are energy harvesters out there that actually do take your energy. And when they do take your energy, that can relate to finances or physical health or anything along those lines. So for Jayson, when he was going through all this stuff, he was being harvested on an energetic level, but it actually did filter through to your physical level as well.
Yeah. So I started meditating probably 5 hours a day.
Yeah.
Had pretty much no food.
Yeah.
Except for Alison bringing some pies and pasties around, doing what she could, because she was working in a bakery, so she was a big help. But I pretty much just slowed down my eating, started stock take food, and living off Weet-Bix as well and stuff like that. And I thought, well, I'm just going to meditate. I'm just going to change my frequency to a higher frequency, see if I can move past this. Then we had a couple of sessions with the lifting Chris Jacobs, and he went into what was going on. And what we found out as well, that there was some trapped colonial or convicts that were coming back.
That's right.
That came on a boat, and they were trapped on the land from memory. And they said to us, when they were on the boat to be delivered to this part of the country where I was living, in this cottage, there were Orion, Draco.
That's
Remember
right. That? I forgot about that.
It's like they're not human.
Yeah.
So there's just some sort of weird trade going on with convicts from England to Australia, and that was part of the energy upset as well. So Chris had to pretty much help them out and free them so they could just move on to the spirit realm. And they said, Jayson, this same thing's happened to Jayson. That's one of the reasons why he's here. So it was all like a bit of a prison for me there. And so visually, this place looked amazing and beautiful, but energetically, it was a bloody nightmare.
Yeah.
So eventually, I had no money. Oh, let's go back. So then we started having other experiences where, remember the AI feeler,
Yep.
because we got told that when you get to, because we're both working on higher frequencies within ourselves, there will be tests and stuff like that. So we believe we had an AI device from the Matrix game that was checking out if we're ready to go to the next level. We didn't know this at the time.
No.
It was only like down the road we found out.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff going on with AI, but we will discuss that at a later stage.
Yeah. And we were being scanned to see if our frequency was up to scratch to move to a new density. This is what I believe anyway. And the energy was so cold.
That's right. I remember that. It was
ice,
freezing.
Ice. And Chris was talking about, it's an AI device. And he said something else, but I still believe that we were being scanned to level up. That's what I believe. So that was a freaky thing as well. And that was going through when I wasn't eating and all that sort of stuff as well. So I was moving through frequencies.
Yeah.
And then it sort of just went.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to that?
I do remember sitting on the couch and I remember feeling the ice cold. I do remember that.
But we both stood up or something. I remember us standing up.
Yeah, I don't remember everything, all the details, but I just remember sitting on the couch first of all and being ice cold. And that's pretty much what I remember. Anything after that, I don't actually remember anything after that, which I find very interesting.
Yeah, it's a possible reset, mind wipe, which does happen a lot.
Yep. So we don't actually know what fully happened after that. We just know that we were told that it's an AI device, and that's pretty much how that played out.
Yep.
And then we kind of just went about our day because it disappeared.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I started getting to artwork as well.
Yeah.
And I was creating paintings, and I started tuning into Uluru, and I had a lot of Indigenous come through, and Indigenous guardians come through and help me with the artwork. I had Jayson Pollock come into our space and have a chat with him. He was around us for quite a while.
Yep. So those of you who don't know who Jayson Pollock is.
Yeah, he's a famous artist from America in the 60s.
And he has passed.
Yes, he's passed.
And he came to come and visit you in spirit form in the cottage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, to help me out with my artwork.
Yeah.
Which was really nice.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. So that was good because I just fell in love with Jayson Pollock. I don't know why. I just love Jayson Pollock. I used to watch his video all the time about his story. And as we were both watching him, watching the movie, I said to Alison, I think I've got Jayson Pollock here. She's like, don't be stupid. I said, yeah, I do. And he's telling me about what really happened in his life through the story. He said the story's not bad, but they've missed out some points about him and his wife or partner at the time, and I'm getting all this stuff. And so he was with me for probably 12 months, helped me with my paintings. He said to me, you make sure that it's your own original art, don't copy anybody else's, and just his energy alone was really supportive. So that was awesome part of the experience at the cottage. So much happened.
Oh, okay. So I have, so let's talk about the giant spider in the corner.
Ah, yeah, that's right. Yes, you used to like to watch us and watch me paint.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How big do you think it was?
Well, in my perception, I thought it was as tall as me.
I think you're right. I was going to say around about your height in diameter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of spiders because I've had my own history with giant spiders, and I have had to come to a lot of learning and understanding and healing that even though they have their own agenda play out.
Because they're psychic beings.
Yeah.
Mind control psychic beings.
Yeah. So don't always have a great understanding of spiders. I still find them slightly creepy. And this was a giant spider about my height.
Yeah. And it would always be in the corner watching me. When you went around, it would just sit there and watch, not do anything, just watch.
Yeah. And that's creepy on its own.
That's creepy on its own.
Like having a small spider is creepy on its own.
But this thing was bloody big.
Yeah.
And again, it was energetic, not physical, because
Yeah.
we're clairvoyant psychic, so we get to see a lot of energy stuff playing out, and that's
Yeah.
why we've done this podcast. So, yes, so that was really interesting. And it also was in the tree above when I was doing another painting.
Yeah.
I think I was doing the dragon painting
Yeah.
for Otherworldly, and you were talking to it.
I don't remember that.
You remember
bit.
that?
No.
You're like, oh, hello, you're just going to watch us, are you? And
Okay, that's creepy again on its own. Okay, just to give you some context, people, I have gone through a lot of stuff where I have not always been in my body. It's only just recent, in the last couple of years, I have gone through a lot of major self-development work. So some of the stuff that Jayson brings up, especially in this cottage story, I may not remember because I might not have been in my body.
not just that, you might have been brainwiped again.
I might have been brainwiped again.
But yeah, I remember you talking to the spider.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, "Ugh, I want to just paint. I want to make this extraordinary painting, which is now in a gallery. And the spider, it's just going to sit around, just watch. And I believe the female, the spider was female as well.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Don't know if that matters or not. So, did the painting, and the spider just watched us for the next 3 or 4 or 5 hours, and went back in the cottage when we went back in, and just kept on watching.
Yeah.
So I think that was part of the energetic games as well playing out.
Yeah, I find all this, like, I know we deal with this every day, but I just find this watching stuff creepy.
Yeah.
Because we don't go around watching people unless it's on YouTube and for entertaining purposes.
That's true, yeah.
So, well, they could be watching us for entertaining purposes. So,
That's a good point.
yeah. It's still kind of creepy.
Yep. So that played out as well, plus everything else I just said before. And then because things were so bad, we had another session with Chris, and the night before, there was this craft above.
Yep.
In the backyard above the trees. Mm-hmm. It was cloaked, but I could see it. Mm-hmm. And I believe it was a Orion craft. Mm-hmm. And I messaged Christopher and I said, I've got this bloody craft here. He's like, don't worry about it. They're just there checking up because you're doing a session with me. Just put your foot down, just tell them to go away. And I was like, right, okay. So I don't remember what I did. I don't remember how long it was there for, but I did shit my pants. Mm-hmm. And then...
Because it was big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was big. And I knew it was full of beings that have been not happy with me since I've been reincarnated again. So did the session with Christopher again and cleared up more stuff. But stuff kept on still playing at the cottage. And by this stage, I had pretty much very little money. And I had to move out. So I said to the landlord, look, I can't stay here anymore. I'm pretty much done with money. I can't pay rent. And I had to leave, which was good because I knew that if I didn't leave, because I kept on being shown I was going to be killed off as well. Because remember I got really sick.
Yep.
And I had family around and going, what's going on, Jayson? He's dying. Had this bad flu. But I got through it because they helped. And then, but I always got shown for the last 12 months that I was going to be dead. But no, I'm still here.
You're still here and you're doing this.
And I'm doing well. So I finally left, and then I moved into, where did I move into?
The shed.
Oh, is that the shed?
That was
That's
the
right.
shed,
So
yeah.
I got a job with my brother. That's a whole new story. Detailing, cleaning caravans. I never thought I'd be doing that my whole life. But it paid $20 an hour. I was like, well, that's something. And then I end up in another mate's shed. And that's a whole different story as well. Won't go into that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, and that was just pretty much a roller door with a door and a window and no shower. And so did a lot of bucket bath, and that's when Alison was in Alice Springs. So that was a whole different that's another conversation altogether.
Yeah.
But that 4 years, Crazy.
It was crazy. It was crazy. Like, there's so much stuff that happened while you were staying at the cottage. I do remember you asking for some kind of proof or energetic evidence of, I think, good help around or something along those lines. And we were sleeping, and I do remember all of a sudden hearing this bang on the floor and this flash of light. And then the next thing, it was gone, but my eyes were closed. And I don't know, I know because you used to have candles around the house as well, because you could put them on the rocks and everything like that. So I don't know if one of the candles fell and flashed, or if something did fall and a beam appeared and flashed. I have no idea because my eyes were closed.
Yeah, at that time, I was asking for a lot of help.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've learnt along the way that be very mindful who you're asking for.
Yeah.
And even if you're saying, let's just use the word Michael, Archangel Michael, everybody asks for him. A lot of the time, it's not really that being.
No.
It's something else, pretending to be that being.
Exactly.
And so I had a lot of that playing out.
Yeah.
But, as years goes on, we live and learn, and we are now working on reclaiming back our sovereignty, our authority.
And we've discovered that there's different forms of awakening as well. So, for example, back then, going through all the stuff that you went through energetically, you're more awakened now to the information that you knew from back then.
Yeah.
Even though you've been in the energetic world for so long, all the information that you have discovered over the years, we all grow and we've all awakened more so than what we did a few years ago. So what you used to do a few years ago back in the cottage, you would probably do differently now.
Well, we do every day.
With all the information that you know.
Yeah, so I have had what you would call New Age training.
Yeah.
And we were taught about angels, the Ascended Masters. I mean, I even for a moment channeled Jermaine for a little bit. And so we were really taught to go outside ourselves. Never to reclaim back our power or do it for ourselves. That's the training. All the New Agers out there.
Yeah.
Or Archangel Michael this and,
and this
Master
guide
this
and that guide and
guides and this and that. And along the way, we're finding out that's pretty much a bunch of crap a lot of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that, we're not going to poo-poo that all guides or all beings are, trying to do shady stuff. But we've discovered that we are the ones who can change our reality.
And we are more powerful than we ever dreamt of, really.
And we have the information. We just need to know how to access it within ourselves. Yeah. That we don't need to go outside of ourselves.
But we've been very blessed by finding people that do know more than us.
Absolutely.
And we've had a lot of help.
Absolutely. Like, we have a lot of inspiration from those people, but these same people are also on the same belief that we go within, like we are the main authority of our life.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm just going back now with the cottage. You're right. I really learnt more about me and the stuff behind the scenes that I didn't really know existed to that extent.
Yeah.
And it's made me a very strong person and a lot more mature, I guess, spiritually.
Yeah.
And more stepping to more my self-empowerment is what you've been doing as well.
Yeah.
So I guess for that was a big blessing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I think if I could change it, I think I would have, well, I guess you can't, can you?
Yeah.
The experience is what the experience was.
Well, I guess the experience was the main thing of it all. Because like you said, you learnt so much from having that experience, not with the whole part of, if your finances been drained, but more of the part of the whole energetics behind the scenes stuff that you've experienced. You've learnt a lot from that.
Oh, a massive amount.
Yeah.
I'm a completely different person now.
Yeah.
A lot more mature and grounded within myself, realising every day that I'm a powerful being.
Yeah.
And learning to become more of that every moment. And this is one of the reasons why I want to do this Phoenix Awakens to share some of a little bit of our
Yeah.
knowledge and stories, and know that you are powerful
Yeah.
and you do have everything within you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just awakening it,
Yeah.
trusting you,
Yeah.
and knowing that you are powerful.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because that's a topic that I would love us to discuss in another episode about our authority self, which we will discuss in another episode. Because to me, that is just an amazing thing to discover how powerful we are as beings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, just from your experiences from the cottage, learning so much has taken you through the years to where you are now.
Yeah. Yeah, so I am very appreciative on many levels.
Yeah.
It helped me, I guess, to grow up.
Yeah. I do remember a scene. I think we were fighting on the roof. I think
that rings a bell.
Was that also part of the whole Lizzie ship that came down?
I'm not too sure. Or was it the Black Monster thing as well? I don't know because there's so much.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I've got this scene where the two of us are fighting on the roof.
Yeah.
But I can't remember if it was the Lizzie battleship or if it was the monster or if it was another fight that we were involved in or spiders. There's so much that went on, but that was like 5 years ago.
Yeah. Has it been 5 years already? Has it? Yeah. Close to that. 4 years, 5 years, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. So that's my basic story of.
But it's not basic.
No, I guess not.
It's not basic at all.
No, there's a lot in it. I guess for us or for myself, you get a bit desensitized a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the stuff that plays out.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
When it happens to you all the time, it's like, oh, here we go. Here we go again.
Sometimes, yeah, you do.
Can I just have a rest?
Sometimes you get desensitized and sometimes you can't just help it. Your heckles get up and...
Yeah. We're now learning how to heal everything.
Not to heckle.
Not to heckle. To heal, not to heckle.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's a good segue for not segue. It's a good
way to end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Jayson, so much for sharing your experiences with the cottages, and I would love to be able to give people an idea of how magical this place is. All I can say is that on the surface level, it looked like a fairyland.
Yeah.
Pretty much. On the surface level. Behind the scenes, not so much.
No.
But you know what? That's what happens. These things happen, and this is the magic of this realm, you could say, is for me being the archaeologist that I am and the detective of discovering all these different things as well.
Yeah. And I'm just getting, before we go, we did help the land.
We did.
I forgot. We did a big ceremony, remember?
That's right. We
did a shaman cleansing of the land as well.
Yeah. And that's on our Infinite Magic YouTube.
Yeah. Check that out.
That's right.
Yep.
I remember that now.
Jayson Infinite Magic. Go and check out the videos on there. Land clearing and channelings and healings and whatever else that we've been doing on there.
Yeah, that's right. We did too.
We've done a lot of videos over the years, haven't we?
We have done a lot of videos over the years, and we're just going to continue sharing our story with everyone.
Yep, they can't shut us up. They've tried.
They have tried many times to do things to us, do things to our equipment, and you know, but we keep coming back, and we keep coming back stronger, more so than ever.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, and like Jayson said, we're learning to heal, not heckle anymore.
Yeah. And what we mean by heal is like heal the much as we can, heal the beings which are trying to
sabotage us.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because we made a discovery that these beings, as a possibility, are actual expressions of us.
Yeah. Found that out recently.
Yeah.
Because they have our soul shards and DNA and stuff, so they're part of us.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that would be a really awesome topic to talk about, that discovery. Yeah. In another episode. So, but yeah, that's what we mean by healing, because we're healing ourselves. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for listening, everyone. And thank you for Alison for being there with me at the cottage.
It was an interesting ride.
It was. So I guess we just say goodbye.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and we will catch you in our next episode.
Love and blessings to everyone. Take care.
See you later.
Bye.